Coaches, this is Mike Kuchar from XandOLabs, www.XandOLabs.com. I want to take the time to share something with you today that I was gracious enough to get from Coach Brian Gabriel, the offensive line coach at Monmouth University in Central New Jersey, and an FCS level school. Had the fortune to sit down with Coach Gabriel last spring to talk specifically about what he calls his take concept, which is basically an outside zone scheme. It's a pin and pull scheme with man blocking schemes. I really enjoy the play. I think the blocking concepts are simple. It's a cheap play to install, but it's one that I think you must commit to, according to Coach Gabriel, to really have a great deal of success with it. Just keep in mind, we're going to talk you through some video clips here of Coach's take concept, but if you like what you're seeing, you could find the entire PowerPoint on this concept along with some specifics on the blocking assignments and the types of blocks at our website at www.XandOLabs.com. What we're going to do now is just take you through some of the variants of this take concept. First thing you should know that the take concept consists, it's a three-man surface play, okay, which means it's a tight end run oriented play going to the tight end side or wing, what have you. And it consists of three blocks that are important. When we compartmentalize this thing in terms of concepts, there's three blocks that we have to keep in mind. Okay, you are going to have a post block. Okay, now these blocks could be done by any offensive lineman. It doesn't matter who it is. It's important that you teach a whole theory. Okay, when you start introducing this play, then go from there. Second block that you are going to get is a stretch block. And the third type of block you are going to get is what's called a space block. Now, some of us may not be familiar with the terminology, but a post block is simply a down block at the point of attack. And Coach Gabriel goes into the specifics of what he wants in a down block and the complete PowerPoint on our website. He also talks about the stretch block, which is simply an outside man-on-man, stretch scheme, reach scheme, however you want to call it, working to the outside eye or the outside shoulder of the defender. The last block is a space block, which is simply a pull scheme. Okay, now these blocks could be executed by any offensive lineman, okay, along the front four here, along the front three, okay, including the center, you would have four. Doesn't matter who it is, teaching the whole concept first, then going from there. We are going to have somebody to block the force defender. In this case, in this picture, okay, it's going to be an H-back. It could be a fullback, depending on what you do offensively. And, of course, it's a tailback-oriented play, where the tailback's going to get the football. Okay, you can run out of a pistol formation, out of an I formation, whatever works for you and your offense. But I really do like this play. I think it's something you can implement this coming season. You could start repping it in the spring, and just the way Coach teaches it and he breaks it down really simplifies the scheme and really talks about the concept of the play. So we'll talk you through some of the fronts we're going to see here in a second. The first one we see in this picture is going to be a 3-9 front, which is a 4-3 front. You have a 3 technique and you have a 9 technique here. Okay, starting with the tight end here, he has a 9 technique. He is going to stretch that defender. Okay, since the tackle is uncovered, he will be the post blocker. Step into block the post to the 3 technique. Okay, the guard will be the space blocker. Now, the space blocker's rule is to get around the post blocker. Now, this is very similar to a power scheme. Okay, we talked to Coach Gabriel when I met with him last spring. Does he like the open pull? Does he like the skip pull? Coach Gabriel's a big proponent of the open pull, and he tells you why. Okay, and again, the full-length articles is on our website at XandOLabs.com. But he just talks about how important it is to get that open pull and to get to that second level as quick as possible. To the backside, the center is going to work to cut off the front side A-gap. To the backside, we are just cutting. Okay, and whatever level you're on, if you cut the line of scrimmage, do so. Otherwise, you're working. Okay, ripping to, Coach talked about running to reach, or some coaches talk about ripping to run and cutting off their next adjacent gap. Okay, great job here, as you see, by that guard pulling. Okay, and you're going to get that alley. Tailback's one-on-one with the safety, which is always what you want. Okay, now we're going to see a 4-3 front with a 7 technique, okay, to the tight end side. So you have the 7 technique over here. You have a 3 technique. Tight end is going to be the post player, okay? He's going to block down a 7 technique, and defensive coaches, we all know how hard it is, that 7 technique, to be able to defend that post block. Okay, so we're going to have 2 post blocks at the point of attack with the tackle and the tight end. The space block is going to be that guard. He is going to wrap around. He has to get outside the last post block. Okay, here comes the H back. He is blocking on the force. Okay, center's working to the play side A-gap. And this turns into a pretty good play for the Hawks of Monmouth University in central New Jersey. Okay, now we have a 4-3 front, okay, with a 6 technique. Okay, so we have a 3 technique and a 6 technique. What you want to do with this 6 technique, we talked to Coach Gabriel, when you have a head-up technique, is completely up to you offensively. He mentioned it depends on the ability of this player, of course, this tight end, and how much of a C-gap presence is this tight end right here. Okay, in this particular example, we are going to see a post block, okay, by that tight end. I will show you other examples where it can be a stretch block. You have this tackle again posting on a 3 technique. Okay, the guard is the space blocker. He is going to pull around the last post block, and now you have the fullback leading up on force. You have 2 players out on the perimeter. Okay, should be the cause for a pretty good play here. Okay, an excellent job. Monmouth looked like they had a terrific center. This is 2001. Good job getting off the ball, sealing the front or the backside A gap. And that's really all it is. I mean, you're looking for creases. As you see, the players keep working, blockers keep working, running backs able to cut off that. But all you're trying to do is create seams in the defense, okay, and try to run through alleys. Now, this clip it's a little distorted, okay, so we'll have to move pretty quickly. Okay, what I just want to look at here, again, a 3 technique and a wide 9 technique here. Okay, to the front side of the play, you're going to get that tight end on a stretch. You're going to get a post by that tackle. You're going to get a space. Okay, now, Coach talked about if you're seeing a wide 9 technique, the gap is going to hit 1 gap shorter. Okay, because what's going to happen is here, this 9 technique is probably going to be your force defender. Okay, so he is going to work on force depending on what front you're going to see. If you see those 4-3 under fronts, that may be an outside backer that has force. Okay, so what's going to happen right now is we have to work. Okay, that center is going to work for the play side A gap. Okay, and try to get things done that way. Okay, in this particular example, there is no fullback. Okay, as you'll see. Okay, so we're going to have to just work a single back set. Okay, and there's the alley that you see. I know it's tough to stop here. Okay, but there's the alley that you see. There's the play side guard able to create that alley, okay, by getting the body on that play side backer. And Coach talked about identifying that play side backer, so important in this scheme for those space players. Okay, so now we're going to have a 3 technique, okay, over here, and a 6 technique. Okay, we have an overload here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players to this side, to the 3-man surface side. Okay, most people will say, well, let's run it away. But if you stick to the concepts, you're going to have a pretty good play here. Let's take a look at this. So this tight end now decides to work the stretch block, okay, on that 6 technique. Okay, we're going to have a post here on that 3 technique. Here comes a space player. You have somebody doing a great job on force. You're going to have that hole hit 1 gap wider. Okay, the guard's going to be the space player. And he's able to get around, and he actually takes it all the way around the tight end. You got a great job with the force blocker cutting. Now I know most high school programs cannot cut on the perimeter, but if you can cut in college, get guys on the ground, open up seams for your running back. Okay, 3-9 technique over here. I want you to watch as this play unfurls the center and the backside guard. Center working to the play side A gap, backside guard working for the backside A gap. Watch the great cutoff by this backside guard here. Okay, his job is to cut off the backside A gap. He really takes a flat step. He's going to cut his split down and make sure this is cut off so the center can work off on a play side inside linebacker. Great job. Great job. Okay, that guard here, center working off. There's the post block. Terrific technique on the post block, really just crushing him down. Okay, and here's a space block, that guard, okay, working on that play side backer. Tailback reads it, makes a cut in the hole, makes things happen. Love to see that stuff. Okay, little different front here. You have a 3 technique, a 5 technique, and a 9 technique, almost a bare front. Now watch how this is going to kind of develop here. And again, I do apologize for the tape being somewhat convoluted, but you're going to get a post block. The 9 technique is going to, the wide 9 is going to be left alone. So you're going to get a post block on the 5, a post block on the 3 by the tackle. The tight end is going to post block on the 9, the tackle is going to post block on the 3. Here comes the backside or the front side guard to be that space blocker. And he winds up blocking the first bad color that he sees. Pretty good execution by Monmouth. Okay, now this I want to talk to you about. This is a cage call. This is something we discussed with Coach Gabriel. Okay, and again, this center's responsibility is to block the play side A gap. Well, if this is a heavy 1 technique or a 2-eye technique, there's no way that center could do that. If this guard's uncovered, now Coach Gabriel tells his lineman to make what is known as a cage call. So now what's going to happen is that guard is going to block down. He's going to be the post player. Cage means the center is going to be the space blocker. You're going to have a post, okay? You're going to have a space, and you're going to have a post, okay? And you're going to have a space. So it's a double pull to the front side of the play. Really nice job here. Okay, I have a 5 and 9 technique. Again, that gap may be a little shorter depending on if that 9 technique's a force defender. If he's up in there, okay, we're going to have a little gap in here in the C gap. But again, an excellent job by that center running down there. I mean, I just want to show this one more time. This is just a tremendous job by that center, really working. Okay, good job by this center. And Coach talks about why he doesn't like to skip pull in these situations. You cannot be fast. If you're skip pulling, this could be a perimeter play. It doesn't, it's tough to skip pull on a perimeter scheme. He's really got to work to get over the top, okay, to post. Just a tremendous job by that center getting a piece of somebody. A couple more here, another 3 and a 9 technique. Okay, and sometimes defenders like this will take themselves out of the play by rushing upfield. Simple post block here. You have a space player here, space player here. Running back finds a seam. Okay, this is an odd front. Okay, now when you have an odd front here, Coach talked about blocking that odd front depending on what you want to do. Okay, but the key is this. Okay, quarterback IDs this. He sees a tilt technique in the A gap that is certainly tough for a center to handle. Not to mention this nose tackle has no idea, okay, that this guard could come down here because he's uncovered and be the post blocker. So he's going to get right on the hip and drive him down there and make something happen in the A gap. Okay, there it is. Center's able to pull around, able to stretch that. Then you got a big play. Finally, another odd front. Now watch how Monmouth does this. This is interesting. Okay, this is the force defender. So this wing is really wide. So this wing is going to handle that. The tight end is going to block down on the 5 technique. He's going to allow the tackle who is uncovered to be the space player. Okay, we have a cage call here. That guard is going to be the post player. Center cannot reach that A gap. Center becomes a space player as well. So you have 2 blockers on the perimeter. Okay, 2 hats, 2 extra gaps. Always accounts for big plays if you get them out there. And again, if you coach them up like Coach Gabriel does and get those offensive linemen to block in space, it's always a benefit. Coaches, I do appreciate you spending some time with me here, okay, to talk about this take concept of Monmouth. Again, if you want more, the downloadable PowerPoint with the specific blocking rules and blocking techniques is on our website at www.XandOLabs.com. Coaches, thanks for logging in. Have a great day.